It's not going to work.
I know. Well, no, the video is not for the. I'm just going to transcribe it when I get home.
We'll make this both of 700.
All right, folks, I'm here up in Saratoga, and I'm with screen legend William Forsythe. This guy, hey, you are. This guy has been in everything from Dick Tracy, Stone Cold, Halloween, Out for Justice, you name it. This is the man you go to. So how do you like in the Saratoga region?
Well, I love it. I've always loved Saratoga. I've been coming up here a long time. You know, it's Saratoga is a unique place. What I love about it the most is people here seem to live the way people should or want to live, and I really get a kick out of it. And I've been coming here so long. I was a teenager when I started. You know, so
yeah. Well, you're a New Yorker. So you're from So you're
from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Okay. So you've got a hell of a career. I mean, you've done everything from comedy to action. I mean, my personal favorite of yours is Dick Tracy. He played Flat Top. And for your co-host people, just to let you know, he actually knew Mike Mazurki.
Yeah, I met Mike.
He knew Big
Mike.
Mike.
I really liked Mike. I met him a couple of times. I met him while we were on the set of Dick Tracy, and I also met him. I told you.
You told me the story. They'll love it.
I was in my 20s. And Mike was standing right behind me on the unemployment line. So
that's our Mike.
He was an awesome cat, and and a powerhouse.
Oh yeah. In our town, he's a legend to this day. He's been gone 35 years.
Yeah.
And he's got a street named after him.
Yeah.
Everybody absolutely. I mean, everybody's either related to him or loves him, or everybody's grandpa went to school with him.
Yeah.
You know, he's one of those great guys.
That's awesome.
So, now also his makeup was done. Can I show this?
Sure.
Here he is as Flat Top. And this makeup was actually done by John Caglione Jr. from Troy, New York. And you said you remember Johnny pretty well.
The team of Caglione and Drexler. Absolutely.
Those guys.
Johnny's a great guy and hugely talented. And they won the Oscar.
Yeah, he did. And they deserved it, because I tell you, you looked like you stepped out of the comic book. I mean, it was just amazing what they did. And you did the persona that we hoped that they would be.
The thing was, when you put the prosthetics on, a lot of the other characters, if you notice, it was harder for it to become like a real face.
Yeah.
Honestly, I worked very hard. I came in and even put it on when I wasn't working in the beginning.
To get used to it?
Because I wanted it to move and to breathe like a real person. And there were times I was speaking 2 different languages. Inside, I would have to do something so extreme to get a small reaction on my face. But I worked really hard at that because I wanted to seem like a complete real.
Yeah, it's totally amazing movie. I mean, and it felt like the 4 colors. That's all he used. The 4 color comics. It felt like it came to life.
Yeah.
So now, another personal favorite of mine is Stone Cold. Love that movie. I got to ask you, as a personal thing on me, the machine pistol, was that real?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. The Calico. I mean,
okay.
Not a very practical weapon, but it fired like 100 rounds in about a second.
That wasn't acting. You were happy to fire that. You had a smile on your face.
We had fun. And,
power. It looked like it was so powerful.
It was power. It was an incredibly impractical piece, in my opinion, but at the same time, I mean, just you fire that, you could pull the trigger and boom, you're empty.
Wow.
It was, part of the show.
Yeah, but it looked great.
Yeah.
So, because I got a bunch of friends of mine who are bikers, and they thought you were awesome. You know, believe it or not, it's a favorite among a lot of bikers.
Oh, I know. Worldwide. They
love that, your portrayal.
Worldwide. And, honestly, I worked very hard. Our script was nothing.
Yeah.
It was terrible. But Lance Henriksen and I, we did what we wanted. We changed things. We made it what we wanted it to be.
You made it a good film, for what it was.
And it ended up working and becoming this cult film.
Massively.
And it's the only film I've ever done. I doubled my contract. I was hired for 3 months to play that part. They had so many problems on the set. The director, God rest his soul, Bruce, was fired, let go, and then we kept shooting. So I ended up shooting 6 months on a movie I was hired for 3. So it was good for my pocket as well.
Yeah.
But I did, after a while, we.
So can I go home?
We had fun.
Where did you film that?
Well, that's the funny part. We started in Mobile, Alabama, and everything was going good. We were filming good stuff, and then I guess Alabama was not happy that we wanted to essentially blow up the state capitol, and so I'm not sure how it officially went down, but we more or less had to move. So we then moved to Mississippi. So now we're in Gulfport, Mississippi filming. Again, we're seemingly doing good. And again, there was another issue where they wanted to film at the state capitol.
Right.
Like, no, they got angry. So finally, we ended up filming in Arkansas, and they had no problem with us using the state capitol, and that's where we ended up finishing the movie.
That was a great movie. Another personal favorite, and a lot of people are going to say, is The Rock.
It's a great movie.
Great movie. Great action.
It's a great action film, and I believe it probably has some of the best actors that have ever lived are in that film. I mean, you take a real good look at that cast and all those people. I mean, there's some real players, not just the guys
yeah,
but just look down that line. There's amazing fellas are in that.
You know what I love is, do you remember when they wrecked the streetcar? And that black gentleman was on it. Oh, you mother! He was so pissed. They were ruining his. You killed my baby. Now I don't know. Was he an actor or?
I'm not sure. I mean, probably.
I was afraid of him because I was like, oh shit, he's pissed.
I'm not sure. Like you never know in those kind of situations. But and probably was an actor.
Great scene.
I don't know what his name was, but he was great.
Now, you stretched into comedy, and Deuce Bigalow is a personal favorite of my wife's and mine. We watch it and we laugh our asses off.
Comedy's my favorite.
You're good at it.
Comedy.
You're good at it because you scare the shit out of people, especially with your intensity in that.
Yeah.
You took the same drama that you did Sammy the Bull and you did it in comedy, and it was just as funny. It was great.
It's all about commitment.
So, now you do a lot of, like you did, you played John Wayne Gacy, you played Sammy the Bull.
Yeah.
Do you like portraying people that
you can't put those two in the same league. I mean,
well, I just meant the historically accurate real people as opposed
I've gotten.
Food is still 50% off. If you're feeling a little hungry,
the show's still going on.
run over to Farmer Daughters Drive-In.
Wow.
Get anything, double burger, half off. Also,
He's not going to stop.
He won't shut up.
We still have our celebrity guest signing.
Go on, I'll go through it.
So before you go,
I did play Gacy, yeah.
Celebrity Row. Check out some of our guests here.
It's a really.
Okay. Yeah, because like I said, I haven't checked. I have the. We just said the guy's in a Gacy movie. I haven't had a chance to watch it.
Yeah. Well,
Gotti, I loved. I mean,
Gacy was the most disturbing part I've ever played.
really. It's real, of course.
Look, when I played Al Capone, I went to Chicago as part of my research, and I was able to get deeply into it, but I was embraced. When I played Gacy and I went to Chicago to do my research, every door slammed in my face.
Oh.
It was a bad subject, and then as I discovered there was a lot more to the story than met the eye. I had originally planned on spending about 2 weeks there doing that research. It pissed me off. I started to discover lies. I started to discover things that really bothered me. And so I stayed in for 5 to 6 weeks, and I did the most in-depth research you can imagine. And I unfolded a lot about him. I even think, honestly, I even think I found where there were other bodies.
Oh,
I mean,
Jesus.
I talked to the law at the time. My research into this guy, he had admitted to killing 33 people, young men. I believe it was, closer to 45 or more.
That's scary.
It was just an awful experience to live in his skin. But I was determined to do it right. I was determined to expose him, and I did. And and from hell now he hates me. So and I
Good.
hate him too. So
Good.
I held with him.
Now, you played Sammy the Bull.
Yeah.
You scared the shit out of us again, because once again, he was a real person. Did you do a lot of research on him?
Yeah. I'm a big research guy, but Gotti was moving on a fast track, and even if I wanted to, it wasn't like I could go and try to talk to Sammy at the time or anything.
Right.
That was kind of not allowed at that point. you know. But I knew I grew up in Brooklyn. I knew a lot
The
of
neighborhood.
things. But you know, I tried to really get in there and really discover what made him tick, and you know, and just take this unique personality that he had combined with I mean, there's a certain charm and everything.
Yeah,
but there is a I mean, it was
a madness to the.
you know, he admitted to the 19. God knows how many there were, but he, Sammy, it's hard to explain. It's like I loved playing that character, and I loved working with Armand, and I got to work with Anthony Quinn, and we were doing something very special.
Yeah.
You know, and we took our guys, our great actors, and we were like the Gambino family, and we went to Toronto and shot this movie. And I'll tell you something, we hung every night. It was like a thing, it was a throwback to old movies.
The Rat Pack Day.
The way we did
We all
it.
got together
And believe me, it's not done like that.
Yeah.
You know, you have to try hard to get it done like that now. So.
Now, Deuce Bigelow, male gigolo, funny as hell. You kept showing up scaring the piss out of Schneider. There are times I'm wondering if he was acting, if you were scaring the hell out of him.
We
He
were
was
always
great.
We were always messing with each other, and I got him to the point where he'd come close to me, and I would do stuff, and he would flinch naturally. So when we got in there and started to do the scenes, I would surprise him, and then I mean, there were times he'd have triple flinches,
Which is great.
Oh, he was great on camera, and I had a lot of fun working with Rob. I mean, they say it's kind of like Abbott and Costello to do things right.
Yes.
And you play your part, they play theirs, and the result is humor. You can't play for humor. I don't believe.
No, you did it because you were so. Your situation was funny, and your belief of the character was funny. That's what made it entertaining,
Yeah. It's
Um,
all about the timing.
yeah.
And committing to doing it straight, helps with.
Oh yeah, and you did it because you could have took your character and stuck you in a regular movie as this intense, crazy cop,
Yeah.
Now, Out for Justice, everybody loves it. It's
It's a guilty pleasure.
dude, you were crazy in that
Look,
movie.
I got to film in Brooklyn. I got to film where I grew up. That's the first time. And I got to go, and I shot Bobby Lupo right in front of a pizza place I used to go to all the time when I was a teenager.
That's awesome.
A little older.
But I meant your neighborhood, though. You know what I
I
mean?
got to do things where I'd grown up, and it was exciting for me. I was staying at a hotel in Bay Ridge, and shooting the movie. I mean, we were making two different movies. I was making my movie, and then Steven was making his movie,
you're
and then
right.
we met at the end.
Yeah, and you're right.
So I was having the time of my life.
Wow. It was a lot of fun.
I had a good time doing it,
And that's the important part, because it seemed like you guys enjoyed it, because a lot of the guys that you were in the film with were recognizable character actors. And I can't cut some of the gentlemen, but you guys were all like, you felt like a real New York City gang of guys that hung out, the neighborhood guys.
Very good people. I mean, look, I got to work with Jerry Orbach, for God's sake. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I got, not so much I got to exchange with him, but I got to sit on, and...
Did you ever hear him sing?
Oh, yeah,
Oh, my Lord, he could
Oh,
sing.
yeah.
Oh, he could sing.
Absolutely.
He
was a great guy, too.
I'm glad to hear that, because he's always seemed that persona,
Low key, a regular guy, like so many great talents on.
Now, you did some horror films, Halloween, Devil's Rejects.
A little bit.
Yeah. Did you like doing the horror genre, or?
Well, as a kid, I liked horror. I'm not a gore horror person, but I liked horror. I particularly liked thrillers. I like movies like that. When I was approached, I got a call. Rob, he told me Rob wanted to speak to me, and I was like, "Great,
Yeah,
I'd love to." So we got on the phone, and I had read, the script, and he and I spoke, and we got along great on the phone. And it wasn't long. I mean, he told me by the time the phone call was over, he goes, "I want you to do the movie," and it was great. It began the journey, and I had fun with Rob. I mean, you never know with the director how far, but
Right.
Rob always, he trusted, like he knew how hard I worked.
Right.
And he trusted what I was putting out there. And it was a good exchange. I mean, we had fun. I would always, come up with weird shit, and You know, little stuff like the Elvis scene. You know, I mean, they had it in there where the film critic goes on
Right.
about Elvis, but you know, the stuff where I go, what did you say about the king?
king,
and
yeah.
that wasn't really part of it. It was kind of like I told Rob, I said, I'm not going to let this guy insult Elvis.
No.
I said, so he goes, do whatever you want. And so when you watch that scene again, you know,
Yeah, because he was upset
the film
because
critic
Gravitel
had
Marx got
he had
forgotten.
no idea what was coming, and it's hysterical when you look at it and you see it from that perspective. When I grab him and he,
Yeah.
you know, it was funny as shit.
And
That's my favorite scene in the movie.
Excellent. Now, what do you got coming up?
Well, right now we have strike coming up. Apparently, the Writers
Ouch.
Guild is going to strike, and we're going to, I guess, back it. And it looks like Hollywood's going to go backwards for a short time. I've got a few things in the can. I have something I'm going to probably try to do quickly, maybe. It's going to be an odd time, but I always keep going. I always keep working. I always got something.
Yeah, we
up
love
my
seeing
sleeve.
you. I mean,
Once in a while, I like it.
Got the PayPal.
All right, buddy.
oh, well, thank you so much. You are
My pleasure.
true.
brother.
I tell you, it's great talking to you. Everybody. When I write this up, they're gonna know. You are literally recognized. You're in movies, no offense, that are shit, and we see you as like we're gonna watch it.
Well,
William Forsythe's in it. It's
my
gonna be
motto.
great.
That's my motto about work.
bring a lot.
No matter what the film is, no matter what the budget, my theory is always come and give your full game.
And you do, and it's
to me,
evident.
that's the job, and believe me, there are people who don't.
No, I was just gonna say, in all walks of life. So, thank you very much. I appreciate it, and
All right, brother.
can't wait to see you again
God
sometime.
bless you.
You too, sir.